I'm an army brat. For all my civilian friends, it might sound a little absurd, but brat stands for born, raised, and transferred. My dad has been in the army from even before I was born. All kinds of camouflages and uniforms he has worn. But as soon as I go and tell this to anyone, the first question they ask is, does your dad have a gun? Has he killed anyone? It's hard to explain that life in the army is more than that. We army brats have donned many hats, changing schools, friends, stations every 2 years, switching languages according to our peers. We wouldn't go to school in a bus or a van. No, that's just too mainstream, man. Shaktiman, that's what they call the big army truck. Our Sayak Bhaiya, our first best friend, giving us good luck. Yes, Shaktiman and Batman, they're different kinds of superheroes for us. We army brats really don't like wannabes. Trust me, I've got Akshay, Priyanka and Arnab in my posse. अरे यार, आर्मी में तो तुम्हें सब कुछ फ्री में मिलता है. Never ever say that to me. I get really annoyed when someone prefixes my dad's name with a Thiru, Shri or a Mr. Colonel, not Colonel or Colonel. It's really not a tongue twister. I'd be the coolest kid in school when dad would come and pick me up in his olive green uniform with my classmates standing around in a swarm looking like they'd been hit by a storm. Mess with me if you can. My dad is an army man. An army brat's life is one of a kind. When you meet a new army brat, mutual friends you always find. Cause we've lived in so many different locations, places people would be scared to go even on a vacation. But I'm not complaining, it is so much fun. Army parties with retro songs, great food and the Dhai turn. Which, by the way, is more famous than the 2.5 kilo ka haath. Don't switch to another video yet. Raho mere saath. For me, canteen means CSD, furniture means MES, and home is always the army cantonment. My international experiences have always been very different. Dad would take us to the border and teach us the order. That side is theirs, this side is ours. As a kid, I was shocked to see that both in India and Pakistan, the same way camels walked. But it hasn't been all rosy, in all honesty, I must admit. Missing my birthdays and annual days were crimes my dad would often commit. And those times when your heart and mind just refuses to tally. Your father is posted in the most insurgent valley. Army officer killed in encounter, the news flashes. Defense personnel reduced to ashes. You can't help but think about the worst that could have happened. There's a sudden sense of peace after that when you thank God it was not your father. But feels so bad, so horrible for the martyrs' kids and families who now have it bad. Army men are of a completely different race. High altitudes, encounters, separation. Why take all this tension? Then retire and fight for one rank, one pension. But if not for these selfless men guarding our borders, we'd all probably be listening to another country's orders. I want to take a moment and salute you, Dad. You and your army brigade. The people we sadly remember only during a war or a parade. You are out there putting your lives at stake for our sake. We sleep peacefully cause you are awake.